So coming out for most of the people is a very emotionally grueling process. It's a very anxiety filled and a very scary process for most of the people, because from the very get-go there's this stigma around being a part of the LGBTQIA plus community that is instilled in most of us, which makes it even more scary to come out to somebody, because every now and then we hear stories of people committing suicides, people getting kicked out of their houses because they are a part of the LGBTQIA plus community or they came out to their parents, which makes coming out a very scary thing for most of us. And quite a lot of people choose not to come out throughout their lives and they just literally hide their identities. As per my coming out experience, I was really scared and really anxious and really worried when I first decided to come out to somebody, because I did not want to lose my relationship with people just because I don't fit the heteronormative stereotypes, which shouldn't be a thing in the first place. And to be honest, being a part of the LGBTQIA plus community and having quite a lot of anxiety just goes hand in hand, because for a big chunk of your life you are trying to hide your identity, you are struggling with accepting yourself, and then once you start accepting yourself, you decide to come out to somebody, and then you have this anxiety of how they might react to you, how they might feel, how they might treat you after you come out to them. So there's this constant emotional turmoil that the LGBTQI plus people go through while coming out to somebody. So just generally speaking, because of the lack of representation in the traditional media, because of the lack of support, because of the lack of education about the LGBTQI plus community, coming out becomes a very emotionally and mentally demanding and very exhausting process. Now to speak about the part how heterosexual people or the allies can be supportive, honestly the best thing that you can do is to create a safe, healthy, supportive environment for them to come out to you, because they are already going through a million things in their heads while coming out to you guys. If they have to think about how you might react to them when you come out to them, is just one more thing added to their list of things that gives them anxiety. Do not treat them any differently, just treat them the way you used to treat them before they came out to you, because they just told you that they are a part of the LGBTQIA plus community and there's nothing else that changes about their personality. And as per my experience, every person that I have come out to, I've told them after coming out to them that I do not need to be treated any differently. I am just the exact same person that I was before coming out. So the best thing to do is to create a safe, supportive environment. Just treat them the way you used to treat them before they came out to you. Make them feel secure, make them feel normal, make them feel that they are not any different from you, make them feel that you support their choices, and just generally make the person who comes out to you feel inclusive regardless of their sexuality.
Today, homosexuality and queer identities may be acceptable to more youth than ever, but within the boundaries of our school, homes and families, acceptance of asexuality and the freedom of gender choice is still a constant struggle for the LGBTQ plus community. Like, if we consider the rural areas, there is a major lack of awareness about the LGBTQ plus rights among the people, and the families have their own way of dealing with the LGBTQ plus individuals. They are often subjected to family sanctioned corrective therapies, and they are heavily abused, and like in some parts there are honor killings, and the only way the young people can survive is to run away to some other city in the cover of the night without any money with them or any social support. They are left homeless at such a young age, and like they don't have anyone to stand by them. However, in case of the urban cities where social media and various initiatives have created an increasing awareness about the LGBTQ plus rights, the situation might seem a bit upbeat for the queer people. Also, like, there are various Bollywood movies as well as series in that case which actually show a good portrayal of the LGBTQ plus individuals. While the urban LGBTQ plus voices through online and various real world platforms actually form a very important part of the LGBTQ plus activism, still they cover a very small part of the diverse challenges faced by the LGBTQ plus community in India.
So we see a lot of stereotyping that happens, which leads to people automatically presuming a lot of things about capability of people and judging people. For example, there's a lot of stereotyping that has been done, especially towards the LGBTQIA plus community, about their careers or their choices, about them being involved in fashion and creative industries and so on and so forth. I think what happens because of these patterns is that people automatically tend to discard things that can also be explored in life. For example, a lot of people make these presumptions about oh, if you're gay, you should be creative. Oh, if you are gay, you should be good at fashion. Um, which in my opinion, I think is, not only negating individuality, it also sort of leaves people wanting to live up to that image that has been set up by the stereotype. And a lot of energy and effort goes into that. So, and this works both the ways. So, I would feel that something like this needs to be addressed, wherein stereotyping needs to stop and enough, which will not only take off a lot of mental pressure, but allow people to experience fuller lives.
After the decriminalization of Section 377, there have still been a lot of problems that the community has faced, like there has been no proper awareness that has been conducted in the society. No one has been educated regarding the rights of the community, which has resulted in harassment, bullying, and honor killings in rural areas. People are being kicked out of their houses, and especially during this COVID-19 pandemic, the community has been marginalized to a very awful extent, where they have not got beds or oxygen or any other requirements just because of them being who they are. Other than that, the situation when it comes to the mentality of the society, that has not changed at all, mainly because people forget that legalization might be important, but other than that, there is also a lot of importance towards educating the society, which is an initiative that we need to take in order for there to be true inclusivity of the community.
So the first thing that you can do is discuss, have a conversation with them. Be inquisitive instead of making any kind of assumptions, because that is just bad. The second thing that you can do is talk about all of the problems that are faced by the LGBTQ plus community on open platforms. Create your own platform. Discuss all of this. The third thing that you can do is, treat them normal. They're normal people. They're just like you and I. So treat us normally, because who I mate with shouldn't affect who I am as a person, shouldn't affect what my personality is, or what kind of abilities I possess, or what kind of work I do. That just makes no sense. It just shows that you're homophobic. And the third thing that I want to say is that this is not something that is unnatural. What deems natural reproduction, that makes absolutely no sense. The world is already overburdened with people. Let's not add more people. And the fourth thing that I want to say is this isn't a choice. It's something that I'm born with. Just like I'm born with these eyes, just like I'm born with this nose. This is something that I'm born with, and I cannot do anything about it. But what you can do is change your opinions and shape your thoughts that yes, this is a human being. I need to treat him like a human being instead of somebody else. Because yes, we are human beings, and instead of saying that this is my opinion, this isn't your opinion. Your opinion can be, I want to eat pizza today, but your opinion that this person deserves human rights or not, just because they do not mate with somebody that you thought they should, makes no sense, right? So those are the four things that you can definitely focus on and you can spread awareness about. And I want to close with, as once PB said on Adventure Time, people are just built different. We don't need to figure it out. We just need to accept it. Thank you.
There are so many discussions over the internet nowadays about gender identity, gender pronouns, and the most important questions revolving around their discussions is that why gender pronouns are so important. Personally, for me, pronouns are important because it's the most basic way to acknowledge someone's identity. Pronouns are so personal that when someone is referred to with the wrong pronoun, it can make them feel disrespected and invalidated. And when it is used correctly, it shows respect for the person we are talking to. It is a form of respect, a form of validation that yes, this is your rightful identity and I will respect that. So how can you identify one's pronoun? You can't always know a person's pronoun by looking at them for the first time. The best way is to ask. By asking them their pronouns, you show the respect to their gender identity and their pronouns. So the next time you see a stranger whom you don't know or who don't know their pronouns, just ask, what would you like to be introduced by or addressed by?